Welcome back. Senate negotiators reaching a deal on a bipartisan infrastructure plan, a procedural vote expected at any moment. Joining us now, Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator Blackburn, always wonderful to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.
I would like to start off with what's happening right now. We are waiting for this procedural vote on a $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan that appears to have bipartisan support, $550 billion of new spending. Your thoughts on the infrastructure plan as it would stand? Do you support it?
I applaud my colleagues who have worked hard on it. We have not yet seen the text of this bill. It is not available. We've been able to see a summary, so I can't support a motion to proceed when I've not been able to read the legislation.
Okay, fair enough. We're also dealing with a lot of issues right now: the economy, the Delta variant of the virus, inflation. All these buzzwords keep coming up, and we're talking about spending more money right now. Your general lay of the land of where we stand as a nation as we're heading into the fall, and we're dealing with a pandemic that we're trying to put in the rearview mirror, yet you've got an administration that's trying to perhaps perpetuate the crisis.
Right, and people in Tennessee are saying we do not want another lockdown, and we definitely do not want children in masks at school. We know that children are a very low-risk group, and to put these children in masks, we have heard so much about the issues that have arisen with children, whether it is their emotional or physical health, and it's just not the right step to take. I know a lot of parents are really upset and concerned about that. And we are hopeful that people will talk to their medical professionals if they are able to receive the vaccine. We are hopeful that people will do that. I think President Trump deserves a tremendous amount of credit for having brought forward Operation Warp Speed that got a vaccine to the marketplace and shots in people's arms in 9 months, as opposed to it taking 2 or 3 years.
It was incredible, and we do hope that more people take advantage of the tools that are right there in front of them as we battle this as a nation together. I do want to switch gears while I have you, though, and talk about something else plaguing the nation at the moment: rising crime. After a spree of fatal shootings in Seattle, the mayor looking to rebolster the city's police department ravaged by officers leaving that department after the city council threatens to cut the department by half. And now the mayor says that it's no wonder that cops turned in their badges. Listen to this.
Losing these number of officers, when city leaders talk about cutting a department by 50%, you will lose employees. Families need security. Workers, even police officers, need working conditions that support them. It is a false choice between community-led solutions and police officers. We need both.
It's not just happening in Seattle. We're seeing it in cities across the country. This movement to defund the police successfully defunded them, and then we did see a rise in crime. Now we're looking to reverse those policies. It almost seems like, you know, we're spinning our wheels here when it comes to this problem.
I hope that our friends on the left have learned a very important lesson, and it is that there is a thin blue line that is between calm and chaos. And to go through this defund the police rhetoric, which the left championed, and they led this push to defund these police units. And now, whether it is Seattle or a host of other cities, what are they doing? They're trying now to backtrack and figure out how they can begin to show support for police. But whether it's in New York or Seattle or many other of these blue cities, Chicago, what they have done is to basically say it is more important for other priorities than it is to support those police officers that are out there every single day trying to keep the cities calm. And you're seeing crime escalate because criminals have figured out in these cities that they don't get stopped, whether it's the crime of shoplifting or petty theft or carjackings, all of these things that are up. Criminals feel emboldened, and this is something that the left needs to say. This was a mistake. We support law and order. We support our police. We support bringing back calm to these communities.
Yes, let's hope they do, because people are really suffering. You know, all we
Very
want
much so.
in this country is to, you know, go out to work, make a good wage, be able to put food on the table, and know that we live in safe communities. Yet in the last second that we have left here, Senator, people are really scared at this point, and our quality of life is suffering as a result with everything else that's happening around us.
Yes, security in our communities, freedom and opportunity for today and tomorrow's generations, that is the focus for people. And I think if you were talking to suburban moms right now, they would say freedom of speech, freedom of choice for my family, opportunities, hope for better days, secure communities. Those are the things that are at the top of the list.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Senator Marsha
Thank you.
Blackburn. Always great to have you on the show.